Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to another episode of the Just for Giggles podcast. I'm your host, Aubrey Friedrich, and my back hurts from a long day of pedicures. So that's just such a joy. I had one of oh my gosh, my first client of the day was such a cutie patootie little girl, and she was just the cutest thing ever. And she said that she wanted her nails to look like my business card, which, first of all, how did you just stumble upon my business card? You told me you were like 5. So, but you know what? My business card is cute, and she was just the most precious thing ever. But yeah, my back is just feeling it. I had 4 of them today, so it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Anyway, I've been keeping myself pretty busy lately with, let's see, when my cousins got married, my little sister had her musical. Then there was prom, and then there was like graduation, and then my little sister had her grad party last weekend, which was really fun. All of that jazz, which means for at least a majority of America anyway, it's officially summer vacation. Therefore, the summer of side quests. What side quests am I doing this summer, you may ask? That's a very good question because one of them I don't know what I decided to do last night. Uh, so I'm not even really sure how this all came to be, but my little sister said she was going to go to Run Club, because the town has one. I'd heard of it, but I had really no idea what was going on. I was like, you know what? I'll just like show up, because like half the people don't even run it. That's what I learned. Essentially, it's a 5K every single week, and it was extremely fun. I was really just there for the vibes. Although I literally just showed up and I was like, wow, there I think there's like 170, 180 people in it. So we got these fun little tags that we scan every time we show up. But I really just showed up to that one table and I was like, "Hi, we've never done this before. We're just really here for the vibes. So like, what do we do?" So then we signed our lives away, pretty much saying we won't sue if we trip and fall on our faces. But yeah, a nice 5K once a week. What the heck? But let's see. I can't remember whether or not they had just like done the announcements and whatnot, or we were waiting for them, or what have you. But some lady there just kind of like stopped me. She was like, "I really like your podcast. You just like crack me up." And I was like, internally, like my mind was just spiraling because I get stopped in public a little too much, which it's not even that much. I'm going to be so honest. It happens like once a week. But when you put silly videos of yourself on the internet, and you just kind of expect it to happen. So naturally, my brain's just like, huh? Because I got stopped at Pizza Hut earlier this week. Just it wasn't even like podcast related. It was just because of work, and it was some old lady that I don't know. But anyway, I I just started laughing. I was like, "Thank you, thank you." But I was like, "Wait, hang on, take your sunglasses off real quick so I can see who I was talking to." And I kid you not, I only knew of this. Like I knew of her. I didn't know her. Like I knew who her children were. So like it was all kind of connected. I was just like, "Oh my goodness, this is so crazy." What is my life? She literally made my day. So if you're seeing this, hello. Olivia Rodrigo announced the tour, and I didn't get tickets, which is kind of heartbreaking. Ariana Grande announced an album, and she released a song today, and I think it's really good. I've been waking up before my alarm goes off for the past like week. That definitely has to do with like the sun rising earlier. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. A new season of Criminal Minds started the other day, which, thank Jesus, I've missed this show so much. It's like my comfort show. They just really need to bring back Matthew Gray Gubler because he's my favorite. I literally have like an eye crusty right now. That's so not glamorous of me, but you know, that's just life. So it's fine. I came home from Run Club. I should have told this story a little bit ago while I was still talking about it, but I came home and I had knew because the night before, like me and Hopeland were watching the Scripps National Spelling Bee, like absolute weirdos. But they said the finals were going to be yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, because today's Friday. And yesterday was Thursday, and Thursday was Run Club, and the finals were yesterday. And I had been telling her to text us with any updates because I was a little too invested in these nerds spelling words. And we got home, and we still got to. I don't remember how many were left by the time we got home, but I kid you not, every single round I would pick somebody that I'm like rooting for. Like there's this one kid, his name was Logan, and I was really rooting for him to win because he was just like the goofiest kid ever. Like he was just such a joy to see up on stage spelling words that I didn't even know were real. And then he got out and it was heartbreaking. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to root for the only girl that's left, women. And then she got out and I was really heartbroken. And then I don't really. And then I think I picked the next kid and then he got out. And then like the final two were down. And I was like, I'm really. I'm rooting for this kid, but my gut's kind of telling me it's going to be the other kid. So I'm going to root for the underdog. And I was wrong. So congrats to, I believe his name was Shrey or something. Congrats on your victory. What finesse. You are a lot smarter than I will probably ever be. So, but you know what? We all have our strengths. We all have our strengths. So, since it's like summer and whatnot, and everybody's going on like vacations, like lots of planes are being talked about and like just whatnot. I don't know how many of you guys saw or like heard about the guy who like died via like uh plane engine motor fan blade thing. That was actually crazy. When I saw it for like the first time, I was like, literally, what's going on? And then I kept watching the videos, and it was crazy. I just cracked my knuckle right next to the mic, so you guys probably just got a real crunchy sound. But that was definitely, it was so interesting. And then I would keep seeing these videos, and then I would just keep seeing more and more plane incident videos. But statistically, planes are like the safest way to travel. You'll never catch me on a motorcycle because heck nah, heck nah. Another thing that's just been like a little like consuming of my time because I think it's just so iconic is that it's a well-known fact on this pod that I hate AI. And also if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm Catholic. And recently Pope Leo, top dog if you're unfamiliar with the Catholic Church, I don't even know. It's almost like president level of Catholicism. That's not even, it doesn't matter. Pope Leo. He released his first encyclical, which is essentially just like a massive letter to all of the Catholics of the world. And there's like a whole chapter in it just pretty much saying how AI is just, to sum it up, bad. And it's just like ruining human connection and the environment and all of that stuff. And proud. It's a good day. And now people are like, you guys can use like religious concern to not use AI at work or at school. And you know what? I'm low-key for it. I would come up with just about any reason under the sun to not use AI. Something that makes me really mad is when I go to Google something and I get hit with the AI overview. Like sometimes I'll be scrolling on social media, particularly like Facebook or Instagram, and I'll be able to tell when something's AI generated. I'm just like, oh brother. Or whenever I'm on TikTok, down at the bottom it says like contains AI or like may contain AI generated material or something. Immediately scroll. Also, speaking of TikTok, I've been, I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I'll see like clips of like little TV shows, mostly just like those shows that are like hospital related or something. And I could have seen the show, like the episode in full, or have seen the same clip like a week ago, but I'll still watch the full clip again, and then it'll only show part of it, and then I'll go to the account and it won't have part two. Instant block. Like I don't want to see you anymore. Like, is that crazy? Is that crazy? Earlier this week, this past Monday, this one's actually very. I just hit the microphone. Earlier this week, a big monument was celebrated in my world anyway. This past Monday, May 25th, I became 2 years seizure free. Ah, everybody starts singing and dancing and rejoicing. So much fun. And also, was it yesterday or was it the day before? Yesterday. I don't know how many of you guys grew up on Disney Channel, but Cameron Boyce, aka, let's see, Carlos from Descendants, Luke from Jesse, that's our man. He appeared in a bunch of other shows, I'm sure. I don't know. But he would have celebrated his 27th birthday. But unfortunately, Sudep took him from us way too soon. Way too soon. So this is your just to throw out some more epilepsy awareness for the world. But hey, 2 years seizure free, that's crazy. Crazy. I think about that more than I think about the fact that I'm 20. That's something I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna come to terms with being in my 20s until I turn 21. And then when I turn 22, I think it's just gonna be like, what even is my life until I turn 30? And I just don't think, birthdays just aren't the same anymore. Like I'm gonna turn 21 and that's gonna be like it. That's like the only fun birthday I have left. Fingers crossed I make it there though. Not to be all Debbie Downer. Sometime soon, actually, this pod is gonna be celebrating a birthday. I think it's in like July. You'd think for somehow maintaining this for almost a year, I'd have that committed to memory, but I don't. um, which is like absolute. Like you could have told me like 2 years ago that I started a pod and that I maintained it for almost a year, and I'd probably laugh in your face because I still have videos in my phone of just me with all of the behind the scenes and just the early development stages of this pod. It's been a wild ride, but I'm sure there'll be more on that in the future. I went over to Fairy's house the other day. It was really just like game night for like a small group of friends, and they have a dog. Shout out JoJo. But we showed up early on to the event. Dog pees on the floor. A little later on, dog poops on the floor, and then it was just to put the cherry on top. It was like later into the night, maybe a little after 11. The dog vomits on the floor, and that was everybody's just like, "Yep, nope, we're going home because it kind of smells nasty up in here. Bye." Here is to a long, lovely, warm summer of side quests and fun stories and campfires and s'mores and pool days and lake days and laughs and smiles and glitter and all of that jazz. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is such a joy. I'm glad I sat down because I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I wasn't feeling it, but today I cracked open a Diet Coke earlier today and it was really refreshing. And oh my gosh, I don't think I'd ever opened a can of anything and it sounds so beautiful in my life. And then I also ate a quesadilla maybe like an hour or two ago. Delicious. We got Taco Bell at home for real. Uh, it's it's been lovely talking to you. I will see you all next week. Hopefully. Peace out, A Town. Cue the non existent outro.